Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Pfab. I am overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive the 2021 Oley LifelineLetter HPN Award. Firstly, I would like to thank the Oley Foundation for giving me this award. I am honored to have my efforts recognized amongst so many deserving nominees and awardees. The Oley Foundation is an invaluable resource to the HPN consumers and caregivers, and helped me during my own journey with parenteral nutrition. I specifically would like to thank Joan Bishop, Oley's executive director, who has guided me as I formed my own nonprofit. Secondly, I would like to thank the sponsor of this award, NutriShare, as without their support, Oley would not be able to continue to provide these great resources for the community. Lastly, I would like to thank all of my clinicians, family members, friends, fellow patients, and caregivers who have supported me throughout the highs and lows of my medical journey. I first discovered the Oley Foundation when I went off to college and my health began to decline. From a young age, I suffered from an autonomic nervous system dysfunction and slow motility of my GI tract, which caused lots of nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. This made it hard to eat and drink, but I was able to maintain myself more or less on an oral diet. When I went to school, my health declined and I knew I needed some extra help. As I was doing research on IV hydration, I came across the Oley Foundation, which had a plethora of information on hydration, parenteral nutrition, tube feeds, and many listings of other useful resources on these topics. This helped provide me with the information I needed to find a colorectal surgeon at the Cleveland Clinic, where I started IV hydration and had my colon removed. After a series of additional surgeries and failed treatments, I could no longer maintain my nutrition, and in 2015 I started parenteral nutrition. I once again went back to the Oley website to read up on this parenteral nutrition and what it would mean for me. In an effort to get off of PN, I underwent an isolated intestinal transplant in November 2015. After chronically rejecting, I underwent a modified multivisceral transplant, which consisted of a stomach, pancreas, duodenum, and small intestine in February of 2019. Over my years in the intestinal transplant world, I met many patients and caregivers like myself, people who wanted to know more information on what they were going through, and to connect with people going through it. But in the realm of intestinal transplant, there was not a good go-to resource on the topic. Thinking back to how valuable it was to have an organization like Oley to help guide me in the beginning with my own nutritional needs, and my belief that knowledge is power, I decided to form my own nonprofit organization, Transplant Unwrapped, with a mission to ensure every patient, caregiver, and member of the intestinal disease community feels well educated and supported throughout their journey with intestinal failure, intestinal rehabilitation, and intestinal and multivisceral transplantation. Currently, I'm still on parenteral nutrition and IV hydration and living with short bowel syndrome due to some post-transplant complications. But I still live my life to the fullest every day and do not let my illness limit me. By providing me with some of the initial information at the beginning of my journey and continuing throughout, I once again thank the Oley Foundation for their continued efforts to support the HPN community. I will end with one of my favorite quotes by Helen Keller, who said, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." Thank you.